My name is Phixfox, and welcome to the fheroes2 Patch Note Rundown. Patch Note Rundown indeed. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It is a pleasure to have you here, and I'm very, very excited to take a look at these Patch Note Rundowns. Let me just kind of get this out of the way for 1 second here. As much as we love this Heroes2 template, we are actually going to be needing to go into the Discord here. We are currently, as of today, yesterday for me, so it's, let's see, February 25th? February 24th here in 2026, sometime around that time, there's been the release of patch 1.1.14. 1.1.14, but I've actually missed a couple of patches since that time, so we're going to go back into the last time that we've actually gave a little bit of an update. I last updated you on patch 1.1.11, so we're going to talk about 1.1.12 and 1.1.13 and 1.1.14 here today. So let's go back in time here. This would have been back in November of 2025. This was where they made some big announcements with the random map generator. Oh my goodness. So I wanted to talk about this, but I also recognized that the feature was marked as in development, and I did not want to actually talk about a feature that was in development. And so much of this patch note was just focusing on the ability to do random map generation. Why is random map generation so important? The reason is because in Heroes of Might and Magic 3, one of the best things about the longevity of the game is that you have an infinite number of maps. You can literally never run out of things to do or play in Heroes of Might and Magic 3. Eventually, for Heroes of Might and Magic 2, you will run out of maps unless you're able to use this function. Now, it is worth noting that in the base game files, like in the original, you did have some ability to do random map generation, but now with fheroes2, they are making it really, really easy and functional in a really nice way. Again, it was marked as in development back in November of 2025, and I'm happy that we can talk about it a little bit more here today with the newest patch of 1.1.14. This patch also included some updates to the AI. So basically the AI was just better on the adventure map, which I think is one of the places where I think that the AI still has a little bit of room for improvement. It's important to note that I'm only saying that because other fheroes2 team members have said that they think that the fheroes2 project can get even better on the adventure map. As far as battle goes, I know that in battle that the AI is playing exceptionally well. I really do think that the AI is playing exceptionally well on the battlefield. There's still some places that you can kind of exploit the AI, or you can use your knowledge of the AI to best it and beat it, but really, on the adventure map, that's the places where I think that we can get the AI to be even better. For all of you who are saying, Phixfox, it's already hard enough. I hear you what you're saying, but I do think that there's still some opportunity there. So for example, pathing through monster dwellings, windmills, magic gardens, etc., etc. Task management on the adventure map, yes. And also they introduced new conditions for hero hiring to make the late game a little bit more engaging. We have seen that. There was also the release of basic iOS support. Basic iOS support. Everything that we ever wanted out of the fheroes2 project, it's happening. It's happening in real time. We get to see it, and it's lovely. It's wonderful. Someday, I submit to you that fheroes2 will be available on each and every platform that you can possibly have. You're going to be able to play it on your tablet, on your Android, on your iPhone, your iPad, on your smart refrigerator. Yes, you'll probably someday be able to run Doom in fheroes2, and that'll be very, very exciting. So I'm very excited for that. And then there were some additional updates, by the way, with 1.1.12, things like the mass dispel spell, resolution options, etc. So good things. We're just kind of breezing on through that. And now, here in December of 2025, we had the patch release for 1.1.13, and the big deal was, hey, we're still working on this random map generator, getting better all the time. I liked the significant progress that they had made at the time, but I also didn't feel like it was the best time to, again, share the project for that new feature. If a feature is partway through or it's still in development, I don't want people to try the feature and then be like, oh, it's not everything I wanted it to be. I want people to try the feature and be blown away by it. I think that when we hit 1.1.14, we can say, oh yeah, I'm officially blown away by it. So good stuff there. But yeah, it includes placement of roads, objects, monsters, more features. Yes. Before it was very, very barren. In 1.1.12, it was just the base level template, water, terrain, But now we're getting into some important things like, again, monsters, roads, objects, etc. Very, very good. Very, very good. iOS has seen solid progress since the last release. Okay, they're going to continue to work on that. AI is now capable of using teleport and earthquake spells. That's kind of interesting to me. I haven't seen the AI use that yet, but I'll be excited to see that more. And it spends spell points more wisely. One of the things I know that people lament in like Heroes of Might and Magic 3 gameplay, and I know this is Heroes 2, but Heroes 3, is that oftentimes the AI will spend all of its spell points before you actually have to fight the big bad evil guy. And that does make the fights go quite a bit easier than they're supposed to go. Here in fheroes2, I've noticed that a little bit, but the fact that you're able to have the AI spend their spell points even more wisely, I really love that. That just avoids the whole problem all in completion, the whole kit and caboodle, as it were. The editor also received in this patch the highly requested feature, and it was highly requested, I must say, drag and draw support for terrain and erase brushes. I'm just going to show you what this means. Okay, hold on. Where is this? There you are. Okay, so if you go into here and I just go new map and I go to from scratch, we'll go to random later, but I go 36 by 36 and I go on grass terrain. If I just click and drag, I can now paint. Can you paint with all the colors of the wind? I submit to you, yes, you can. Whatever the terrain, whatever the flavor, you can do it. And before you kind of had to click and do this, and you had to, you know, make a big square. And you could always use this feature here in the bottom right, this little palette where you can like click and drag like so. But being able to erase in such a manner actually feels cool, because then it feels like I can just sort of, wait, can I not? Am I mistaken? I can do this. Oh yeah, I could do that, I suppose. Wait, I cannot, I guess you can't erase terrain. Yeah, there is no function to erase terrain. Oh, but if I were able to place down like monsters, for example, like bunches of them, then I can do erase. I can just click and drag. Ah, there you go. I don't have to click again and again and again and again. Very cool. So again, the click and drag function, I'm happy for it. Glad that that is there. Again, it does make me feel a little bit more like I am painting, and that feels great for all the map editors out there. And it also helped the map makers, again, create more efficiently, and this is a big buff to the touchscreen devices where functionality is essential. Yes, it's one thing entirely to make something that works on a computer or a laptop. It's another thing entirely to say, hey, I want you to make a map on your tablet. And then somebody says, how the heck am I going to do that? Thank goodness the fheroes2 team is committed to making the game accessible on any platform that you can use, right? Whether you have a mouse and a keyboard or not. Okay, moving on. We've also got here, brings us to modern day 1.1.14. And iHub says, dear fans of the fheroes2 project, today we're presenting the first fheroes2 release of 2026. Yay! Yay! As always, this update is packed with changes that we are excited to share. The editor has become even more powerful. The random map generator received multiple improvements, including the addition of decorative and pickup objects, along with various fixes. The team introduced new abandoned mine variants and implemented the ability to store multiple languages within a single map file. This allows map makers to support different languages without creating separate map files. I love this. Hold on. Let me do this. So if I go back to here and I go to load map from this map editor, you can tell I've got 7 Deserts English version, of course, from Winimaro, and I've also got 7 Deserts French version, right? And so at the very end there, it talks about, well, you don't have to have one or multiple files to do different languages. The ability to do multiple languages in the same file is really, really ridiculously cool. Again, making fheroes2 available to everyone. I love that. I think that that is fantastic. And then one of the other things that's discussing here, multiple improvements, addition of decorative and pickup objects along with various fixes. Okay, alrighty. So it's the first time here on the Phixfox channel that we're going to take a look at this function that we're talking about here. So we're going to go to new map. We're going to go not from scratch, but we're going to go into random. And here we get to choose our map size. Let's just say it's a 72 by 72. That's a medium-sized map. And now we have these options. How many players do you want? This click and drag bar, very, very handy. I like 4-player maps because it feels like the map generator does a nice job with mirrored types of layouts, you know, things that are kind of made to be, all things considered, fairly equal. Water percentage, I actually don't love the water percentage for this reason. It seems like the bigger the water percentage, the more likely that there's water around a central island. And so water percentage doesn't really do it for me. If we keep it below 15% though, typically we're fine with that. Monster strength, weak, normal, strong, deadly. We're just gonna put this on deadly right now, and we're gonna move this resource availability scroller to abundant as opposed to scarce. We're gonna say that this is just 0 map seed. We're gonna hit OK. And as you can see, the random map generator is now to the point where it is throwing down resources for you. It is throwing down monsters. It is doing a good job of connecting things via road. Everything here should be 100% passable. Even Heroes of Might and Magic 3 with their random map generator, it had issues with passability. Sometimes it was supposed to be put down in a way that was passable, and sometimes that would work and sometimes not. I have yet to see personally in Heroes of Might and Magic 2 any instance where the passability was incorrect or wrong. This is actually a really cool opportunity for map makers who maybe struggle with getting a fairly equal sort of map for themselves, like started. And you can pretty much take what you have here, and you as the map maker can edit this, right? You can be like, well, I have a vision. I like this basic template. I'm going to like edit this in a way that I can do what I want to do, right? I'm going to add some extra water features. I'm going to add some extra, things that'll be helpful for me. Things that'll really kind of set the scene or help the mood out a little bit. For example, I just think that there needs to be a lake right there. Yeah. Okay. This is why Phixfox doesn't make maps, but you get the point. You can take the map that is randomly generated for you, and then you can make it your own. You can add to it. I think that that's one of the best uses for the random map generator at this current juncture. I anticipate, I don't know, I haven't heard this, I haven't seen this, but I anticipate that in the future we will have a random map generator that is so good that it's going to be added to the actual, call it main logo. Like in new game, I am anticipating that in the future we can go standard game, and we'll be able to do a random map generator. That is my hope. I think that that is the goal of the fheroes2 team. If it is not, then strike me down in the comments. Zents or iHub or anybody else, please reach out and let me know where I've steered people wrong. So really cool. Really, really impressive that they are putting so much effort into the map editor. And of course, my hope is that this is an investment in a great tool to help the fheroes2 team in the future make their wonderful, planned on the roadmap fheroes2 campaign. That is coming in the future. I'm excited for it. Introduced abandoned mine variants and implemented, just abandoned mine variants. Hold on. I actually gotta check that out real quick. Abandoned mine variants. What? Huh? Who? Oh, I'm painting. It feels so good. Where are the abandoned mine variants? So if I go here, oh, beautiful. See, because before abandoned mines, there was not these different options, right? It's been a while. I wish I could actually go back and show you, but you didn't actually have, that kind of mossy mountain versus this one versus one in the snow versus one in the desert. And so this actually just really makes some additional functionality there. Good job to Push Pop or whoever else was doing the work there. Very good. Appreciate that. Okay. What else we got for us? Well, let's see. The AI also received significant improvements in this release. We fixed cases of incorrect object evaluation on the adventure map, added extra checks to prevent AI heroes from visiting unnecessary objects, and refined battle logic. Additionally, recent optimizations have made the AI turns slightly faster. Good. I love that. I appreciate that the AI continues to have improvements. Again, Adventure Map is probably the one place that they can really get a lot of improvement out of. I'm actually very excited to see where they've refined the battle logic. I think I played the entirety of the Archibald campaign on patch 1.1.13. It played really, really good. For the final scenario, like I was getting destroyed. I was having a tough time. So interested to see if there's maybe I can figure out some additional points for this as far as how the battle logic has been refined. But there comes a point where it's already so good that minor changes are going to get you the difference between a win and a loss for us as the player. And it's also important to note that they don't want to make the AI too strong because, as John Van Caneghem said in a recent interview, it's actually really important that the AI is not too good. So I like that they refined the battle logic, so it's good, it's improved in some meaningful way, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to blow you out of the water every single time, and that's not too bad. Also, the team introduced a new graphics option, screen scaling type, allowing players to choose how rendering is handled. This helps resolve issues on some devices where nearest neighbor interpolation is preferred over linear filtering. I like the fancy words that you're using there, but I don't understand a single one of them. We recommend trying this option in full screen mode to see which setting suits you best. All right, let's just see what we can do here. All right, so if I go back to the main screen here, and let's just say that I go to standard game. Let's just do 4 dimensions. By the way, I believe that 4 dimensions, if you are unaware, which you can find on the fheroes2 Discord, it was actually a scenario that I believe actually used the random map generator. I could be wrong. I don't want to tell people that and then I'm wrong, but I think it might have. Okay, so if I go to graphics, settings, resolution. Okay, so this is the resolution I'm on. By the way, this is different. This whole screen is different and I like it. So this is my resolution. I always play on 960 540. That feels like it's pretty good for me. I always play in windowed mode. And then screen scaling type, linear, nearest. Oh! Oh! Oh my goodness. Oh, you think I would look at these patch notes beforehand, but I'm glad I'm getting this firsthand, folks. In case you can't tell. Okay, nearest, linear. This feels like the nitty-gritty 800 by 600 original graphics in a way that is difficult for me to explain, and I kind of like it. Oh my goodness, this feels so gritty. I didn't even realize it's almost like I've just put on glasses for the first time and I can see clearly. Now, some people might not enjoy this kind of more I don't know how to describe it. It's not just merely pixelated, but this not so smoothed out, maybe more true to the original variety of resolution, but this is wonderful. I'm gonna actually have to decide which one I appreciate and enjoy more. Like I'm so used, oh, wow. Okay. Well, I've learned something new today. I got some things to play with. And again, if you're looking for this, it's in the system options in the bottom right. You're now able to go to graphics setting up here, and then you can of course choose your different resolutions. You can also choose the screen scaling type. This linear versus nearest function is actually going to be a bit of a game changer for me. I'm gonna have to figure out what I prefer to play on myself in the future. Interesting, very interesting. Go try this out for yourselves. Let me know which one you prefer. If you prefer this nearest sort of example, or maybe you go and try one of these other resolutions just to see how it plays on these. So I also like, let's see. I also like, let's see, what else? 800 by 600 is the original. Oh boy. Yikes. Let's do full screen here. Is that better? I mean, again, it's got the old school feel. If you are a fan of the old school graphics, then this feels like the old school graphics. I haven't heard anybody say, Phixfox, I love fheroes2, but I hate the way it looks. I've never heard anybody say that, but for those few people out there that just prefer something very much true to the original, this is it. Congratulations, mission accomplished, well done. I'm immediately gonna go back to 960, 540. I'm gonna go back to linear for now. But that's incredibly interesting. Okay, folks, let me know what you prefer to see me play on in the future. I'll be excited to hear from you. Okay. Alrighty. Whew. Next up, we have another new feature, which is introduced, which is the creature movement area highlight option, which allows players to see the creature's movement range by hovering over it. This works for all units on the battlefield, and this feature helps players make better tactical decisions during gameplay. I've been asking for a while for like the left shift mouse over or left shift click in order to see what the units on the battlefield are doing. Yeah, I think that that's actually a pretty worthwhile sort of a deal. I'm excited to see that in action. Let's see if we can just make that happen really quickly. Let's go into any kind of battle. Any battle will do. Lots of nomads. Oh no. I don't want to spoil it for you folks, but I think we're going to lose this battle. So I can scroll over. Do I just right click? Do I shift? What do I do? What do I do? Hold on. We're going to go back to this. So it says movement area highlight option. So I'm guessing I have to turn this option on then. Guessing I have to turn this on. Okay. So let's go down to here. Auto casting, interface, speed. All right, interface settings. Interesting. So this is actually new. This is a little bit nicer than the previous version. It was lots more boxes. Now they've said interface settings are in here. So we got the grid, turn order. Of course, I can't live without the turn order or the damage info. I just really, really enjoy that. And then right now, movement area. I'm going to turn this on. So I mouse over. Oh. You know, there's a problem here. The problem is this. Occasionally, I will miscount my steps and the AI will attack me when I wasn't counting on it, right? That does occasionally happen. Now I've got no excuse. And unfortunately, it adds a little bit of fun and intrigue. Though I play suboptimally, it adds some fun and intrigue when I do mess that up. But now you mouse over, and I'm not clicking anything. You can't really toggle this on and off more than that, but you can still see your current unit that is selected, their range here. But then you can also see very clearly with the much darker hexes where the enemies will go. I'm going to have to decide if I like this or not. I'm going to have to decide if I end up playing with this or not, but I love that this is a feature. Again, you go to this bottom left here, customize system options, interface, and it's this one on the bottom right here. Movement area on, off, etc., etc. Very cool. Very cool. I like that. Good job, fheroes2 team. You are surprising me lots and lots and lots today. Love it. And then below that, the team has also made multiple UI dialogue movements, updated translations, reduced the engine's memory usage, added a terrain selection option in battle only mode, and implemented many other enhancements. In total, more than 30 issues have been closed since the last release. Wait a second. So UI dialogue improvements, I'm gonna have to go find those. Updated translations, okay. Reduce the engine's memory usage, thank goodness. No, I'm just kidding. It already felt like it was whisper quiet. Added a terrain selection option in the battle only mode. Okay, let's go to here. And folks, we're going to go back to the new game screen. Of course, here, if I just click on new game, fheroes2 has a battle only feature. So if I click on this battle only feature, oh, that's nifty. So I can just say that I'm going to have Sir Gallant and Lord Kilburn fight to the death. And now I click here and I get to choose, oh, sweet. It can be on water, grass, snow, swamp, lava, desert, dirt, cracked earth, beach, or random. The future hope that I have is that eventually this will also give us a castle, because there are some times where I've said to myself, well, I wonder if I could win this fight later. Like I'll play a game and I'll lose a fight and I'll say, oh, I wish I could go back to the battle simulator and I could reset up this fight. I can reset up fights all the time if it's not including a castle, but if there are castle walls and turrets and stuff, it'd be really cool to eventually be able to update that with another button. For now though, I'm just gonna say we're gonna be a ship to ship battle, and there we are, ship to ship battle here in the water. I love that. What a cool feature. I really appreciate that, and that'll be really nice for all of the creative people out there that want to make these little battles on a particular tile set. So really nice. You're not gonna have to just restart the scenario or the map over and over again to get the tile set you want. Folks, this is a very awesome project. This is a very cool project. If you're not familiar with fheroes2, go and try this out. Johnny, tell them where you can go and get this project. Folks, you can get this from the GitHub. Yeah, I will leave that in the description of this video, is the GitHub for the fheroes2 project. There's a nice little download section there. For modern computers, if you're wondering, you can always just do the 64-bit download for Windows. You could use the installer. If it's your very first time getting fheroes2, I highly recommend that you just follow the installation guide. It's very comprehensive. It does a good job, and you can trust that if it's asking you to like unload or unpack a zipped file, don't worry. The fheroes2 team, I will absolutely 1000% vouch for them. They are the good guys, and they're not going to give you a Trojan horse of some kind. So go and download this from the GitHub. Again, links are in the description. Go enjoy fheroes2 patch 1.1.14, because as soon as I hang up this video and as soon as I get this uploaded, I'm absolutely going to go and play some myself, and I'm going to figure out that linear nearest versus farthest function and see which one I appreciate the most. So with that being said, folks, do me a huge favor, look after you Look after your friends, look after your family, take very good care of yourself. My name is Phixfox. I love Heroes of Might and Magic 2. I'll see you in the next one. Bye, everybody.